Well, guys, today we got a few more insane stories to go through, including doctors being struck off for questioning the narrative, deluded government ideas, and idiots getting books banned for 30 words. Obviously, insanity is the norm these days because the lunatics are running the asylum, as you've likely noticed. Now, to start us off, first let's talk about this stupidity that states the annual MOT could be scrapped to put the brakes on the cost of living crisis. So, not checking your car brakes every year will help you with the cost of living crisis in the rise, which is obviously dangerously demented and, let's be honest, worth about what, £50 a year. So you risk your life and the lives of others to save yourself 50 quid a year is literally the government's answer to a problem that they've helped create. Well, I guess if you die in a car crash, the cost of living won't matter to you, so that must be their thinking there, because it makes no sense outside of that. Now, obviously, to help with the cost of living, you should be cutting tax, VAT, and things like that, especially on fuel and shit. You stop wanking money down the toilet and stop donating all sorts to Ukraine. Oh, and on top of that, you deport every illegal immigrant in the country right now and literally bin all net zero nonsense instantly. This is how you help the people with a cost of living crisis, not removing yearly MOTs, you bloody brain-dead tosspots. Now up next we got reports that the Speaker of the Commons demanded the editor of the Mail on Sunday explain some article that essentially called Angela Rayner a desperate hussy, claiming she uncrossed her legs a few times to throw Boris Johnson off or some shit. Now, personally, I don't care about this story myself and despise the media, but I have got to say, I do find it funny that this editor essentially told the Speaker to bugger off. Yep, as the headline states, he outright refused to go, and so he should if you ask me, because while I don't like the press, I agree with freedom of the press and free speech, which obviously all of this is. Oh, and apparently the uncrossing of her legs that the lefty media and Labour Party have got so salty about is actually something she admitted to doing according to other MPs, so the story itself is nothing, but I do find it funny that the editor told Lindsay Hall no when he demanded to see him. Plus, let's be honest here, Angela Rayner run around calling people scum and is part of the Labour Party who are currently doing their best to erase women's biological status, so this trout can jog right on with any sexism claims I've got to say. Anyway, enough of all that, let's move on to Elon Musk and Twitter. Well, the EU getting salty about him, owning it, but more importantly, the free speech Twitter everyone is hoping for won't exist here in the UK or the EU. I say this because of the current online censorship laws both the UK and Europe are pushing through literally as we speak. For us, it's the Online Safety Bill, or Online Censorship Bill as it should be called, that literally includes legal but harmful content being removed and possibly being a crime. Yes, you can post something that's 100% illegal, but if it hurts some dickhead fifis, then it will be taken down and you could possibly be arrested for it. Oh, and harm as they call it will be so broad it could literally include anything people consider distressing, alongside the fact that this bill actually encourages identification for the internet, which is something Musk himself has actually talked about. Well, the EU also has a similar thing going through, and with Musk saying free speech within the bounds of the law, this means that UK law will make it no different to what it is now. Actually, it will make it much worse, because shit you can say now could well be considered legal but harmful content in the future. So welcome to Clown World 2022 once again, everyone. Now, up next, let's quickly talk about Oxford publishers censoring Biff, Chip and Kipper books with claims that they're racist. Yes, books many of us grew up reading that no one considered racist are now racist because some demented seal has decided it was. Once again, it's not something that's overly shocking, but it is infuriating how pussy-whipped this country and the world itself is actually becoming, literally day by day at this point. Now, following these complaints, copies of the book, The Blue Eye, have actually been withdrawn from printing by Oxford University Press, who also then went on to destroy the copies they had in stock. I know it's bloody incredible, but it's being reported they literally stopped printing the books and destroyed stock because someone complained that its portrayal of Muslims was racist. Here, though, the Telegraph states Oxford University Press has pulped copies of The Blue Eye in which the young characters are transported to a foreign land with the help of a magic key. The children find themselves in a busy street market, which appears to be somewhere in the Middle East, where the men wear white turbans and the woman is wearing a niqab. It says, let's stay together, says Biff. The people don't seem very friendly, Will says. I don't like this place, it's scary. And that is literally it there. That is what is apparently racist, despite them not actually saying anything racist, obviously. Saying some people don't look friendly or that you are scared is now racist in 2022, because of course it is. Politicians can't tell you whether women have dicks these days, so kids' books must be racist, I guess.
So a woman can have a penis?
Nick, I'm not. I don't think we can conduct this debate with, you know.
Sorry, have I offended you in some way?
No. It's just no. I just.
A woman can have a penis.
I don't think that discussing this issue in this way helps.
Now, of course, it wouldn't surprise me if it was some white lefty complaining about this, because you would like to hope that Muslims have better things to do with their time than cry about this complete utter bollocks that we've got here. As a matter of fact, I'd place money on it that it's going to be some lefty tosspot, let's be honest. Now, enough of all that, let's move on to yet another demented story that's going to see UK doctors struck off the medical register for questioning the current health narrative. Yes, as we see here, GPs who spread fake news on jobs or lockdowns will be kicked out of the profession, which to me says if you question the media and political agenda of the day, you're going to lose your job. Obviously, all of this is despite us having massive backlogs in the healthcare system thanks to lockdown lunacy over the past 2 years. Here it states doctors who criticise vaccines or lockdown policies on social media could face being struck off if regulators rule they are guilty of spreading fake news in an update to the Hippocratic Oath. So criticising lockdowns is now going to be against code for doctors, while I bet this rule won't apply to people who spread fake news about lockdowns working and all of that, when we've now got the evidence they don't and it's literally being talked about in the media. I mean, in the same newspaper itself, literally right next to this story, we have another saying that lockdown drove 60,000 more secondary school children into clinical depression. So surely anyone who said lockdowns work and are good for fighting a virus should now be struck off for pumping out fake news that is affecting people's lives and making a meal. Of course they won't, because that's the narrative they wanted you to follow, even if it did 10 times more harm than good. This tells me it's just another way to censor anyone who questions the current narrative, because like I said, under these rules, Whitty and Valance would need to be struck off for lying to the public, as was Dr. Shillery Jones and literally every TV doctor who spewed bullshit for the past 2 years and been caught doing it countless times at this point. I mean, shit, we must never forget the fact that these idiots actually told people it's better to waterboard yourself than it is to not wear a mask.
If you're on a crowded beach, there's a risk of transmission. And in theory, if you go swimming in the sea, you should be wearing a mask.
So yeah, any doctor speaking out going forward will be struck off as an easy way to discredit whatever they're saying, because banning them from social media is not going to be enough next time round. It seems governments these days have decided Orwell's 1984 is an instruction manual, not a warning, because we ain't far from living it these days, are we? Now guys, that's enough of me waffling on, I think, but before I go, I want to thank all you legends for watching to the end, and I'll see you all in the next one, I hope.